Imagine waking up in an America where democracy has been abolished. The alarm clock rings, but instead of starting your day with hope, you feel a sense of dread. The voting booths are empty, a stark reminder that your voice no longer matters. Picture a country where familiar democratic norms have vanished. The once bustling streets are now eerily quiet, and the government buildings stand abandoned, symbols of a broken system. People wander aimlessly, their confusion and loss palpable. This isn't some dystopian fantasy, it's the chilling vision of Project 2025, a plan that could reshape the very fabric of American society. News headlines scream warnings, and serious faces pore over documents trying to understand the full scope of this ominous project. What happens when the voices of the people are silenced? Protesters are ignored, their cries for justice falling on deaf ears. Imagine the frustration and helplessness when even your right to speak is taken away. What are the consequences of handing the reins of power to a select few? In closed meetings, decisions are made without public scrutiny. Shadows of powerful figures loom large, and the people are left to look up at an unapproachable government. These are not just hypothetical questions, they are urgent inquiries we must grapple with as we confront the potential implications of Project 2025. Concerned faces gather in community meetings, trying to make sense of it all, taking notes and discussing the future. The stakes are high, and the time to understand this looming threat is now. The clock ticks ominously, a constant reminder that we are running out of time. Urgent discussions take place around tables as people hurriedly read through documents seeking answers. We need to peel back the layers of this ambitious plan and expose its potential consequences. Investigative journalists work tirelessly, highlighting crucial information in thick reports, determined to uncover the truth. Our future as Americans might depend on it. The American flag waves in the wind, a symbol of hope and resilience. A diverse group of people stands together, looking hopeful, holding signs that declare, "Our future." It is a reminder that our collective action can shape the destiny of our nation. Project 2025 isn't some shadowy conspiracy theory hidden in the depths of the internet. It's not a figment of someone's imagination or a baseless rumor circulating on social media. It's a real documented plan, meticulously detailed and officially sanctioned. Conservative think tanks and activist groups have been meticulously crafting it for years, poring over every detail and scenario. Their goal? To fundamentally transform America into a nation aligned with their values, reshaping the very fabric of society. This isn't about tweaking policies around the edges or making minor adjustments. Project 2025 represents a wholesale takeover of the American government, a complete overhaul of the system as we know it. Think of it as a hostile takeover, but instead of a corporation, it's the world's most powerful democracy in their crosshairs. The stakes couldn't be higher. They envision a future where their ideology reigns supreme, dictating the direction of the nation. From the courts to the classrooms, they aim to leave their mark on every facet of American life, influencing the judiciary, education, and beyond. But what does this mean for everyday Americans? How will these changes impact the lives of ordinary citizens? Let's dive deeper into the specifics of their plan, examining the potential consequences and the reality of what Project 2025 could bring. Who are the architects behind Project 2025? It's not a single Bond villain-esque figure stroking a cat in a dimly lit room. Instead, it's a coalition of conservative organizations and individuals. Think tanks like the Heritage Foundation and the American Enterprise Institute have played a key role in developing the policy proposals.
These aren't fringe groups. They are well-funded, influential organizations with deep ties to the Republican Party. Alongside them are activist groups like the Council for National Policy and the Federalist Society. These groups provide the grassroots muscle and the legal firepower to push the Project 2025 agenda forward.
One of the cornerstones of Project 2025 is reshaping the judiciary. They've already had significant success installing conservative judges at all levels of the court system. Their goal is to create a judiciary that will rubber stamp their agenda for a generation.
Imagine a Supreme Court that consistently rules against abortion rights, LGBTQ+ equality, and environmental protections. That's the kind of legal landscape they are trying to create. This has profound implications for everyday Americans. Our fundamental rights could be rolled back. The laws that protect us from discrimination and corporate overreach could be weakened.
Section 5. Reshaping education. Education is another prime target for Project 2025. They believe that schools have become too liberal and are indoctrinating children with what they see as dangerous ideologies.
Their solution? Seize control of the education system and reshape it in their image. Expect to see battles over curriculum, with attempts to downplay the history of slavery and racism in America.
Science, particularly climate change, is also in their crosshairs. They want to replace evidence-based education with their own version of reality. This could have a chilling effect on critical thinking and intellectual freedom.
Children could be denied access to a well-rounded education that prepares them to be informed, engaged citizens.
Section 6. Controlling the flow of information. In the age of information, controlling the narrative is paramount. Project 2025 proponents understand this, and they're actively working to shape the media landscape to their advantage.
We've already seen the rise of right-wing media outlets that peddle misinformation and disinformation. Project 2025 seeks to further amplify these voices while silencing dissenting views.
Imagine a world where independent journalism is stifled and access to accurate information is limited. This is the kind of information ecosystem they are trying to create. Section 7. The power of faith. Religion plays a central role in Project 2025. They envision an America where Christian values are enshrined in law and public life.
This means rolling back the separation of church and state. Picture government-sanctioned prayer in schools, restrictions on abortion and contraception based on religious beliefs, and discrimination against LGBTQ+ individuals justified on religious grounds.
This blurring of the lines between religion and government could have far-reaching consequences for religious freedom.
It could create a society where some religious beliefs are privileged over others.
Section 8. The economy under new management.
Project 2025's economic vision centers on shrinking the government and cutting taxes for the wealthy. They believe in trickle-down economics, even though it has been repeatedly discredited.
Expect to see efforts to dismantle social safety net programs like Social Security and Medicare. Regulations on corporations would be slashed, environmental protections rolled back, and workers' rights eroded.
This would exacerbate income inequality, leaving the middle class struggling and the poor further marginalized. It would be a boon for the wealthy and corporations, but at the expense of everyone else.
Section 9. Healthcare, a different approach.
Project 2025 proponents view universal health care as anathema. They want to dismantle the Affordable Care Act and replace it with a system that prioritizes private insurance companies and market-based solutions.
This would leave millions of Americans without access to affordable health care. Pre-existing conditions could once again be a barrier to coverage, and medical bankruptcies would likely surge.
Their vision for healthcare is one where access is a privilege, not a right. It's a system that benefits the wealthy and healthy at the expense of the most vulnerable.
Section 10. Foreign policy, America First. Project 2025 advocates for an America First foreign policy based on isolationism and military strength. They view multilateral agreements with deep suspicion and international organizations like the United Nations with disdain.
Expect to see a more aggressive and unpredictable foreign policy, with a greater reliance on military force and power. Diplomacy and cooperation would take a back seat to unilateral action.
This could lead to increased global instability and conflict. It could also damage America's standing in the world and erode its crucial alliances. Section 11. The role of the military. The military occupies a central place in Project 2025. They see a strong military as essential for projecting American power abroad and maintaining order at home.
Expect to see increases in military spending and a more prominent role for the military in domestic affairs. This could mean greater surveillance of American citizens and a militarization of law enforcement.
The lines between civilian control of the military and a military dictatorship could become dangerously blurred. It's a scenario that should give every American pause. Section 12. The future of dissent. What happens to dissent in a post-Project 2025 America? It's not difficult to imagine a scenario where free speech is curtailed. The right to protest is restricted, and the government cracks down on any form of opposition.
They might justify these actions in the name of national security or patriotism, but the end result would be the same: the silencing of dissenting voices and the erosion of democratic norms.
Imagine an America where speaking out against the government could land you on a watch list or even behind bars. It's a chilling thought, but a very real possibility if Project 2025 comes to fruition. Section 13. Stay informed, stay engaged. In today's rapidly changing world, staying informed is more crucial than ever. Project 2025 is a clear and present danger to American democracy. It's a slow-moving coup, a calculated effort, designed to dismantle the very institutions that protect our freedoms. This isn't just a political issue, it's a fundamental threat to our way of life.
But it's not inevitable. We can stop this. We have the power to make a difference, but it requires action. But it requires us to be informed, engaged, and vigilant. We must stay updated on the latest developments, understand the threat, educate ourselves and others, and actively participate in our democracy, and hold those in power accountable. This means voting, protesting, and even writing letters to our representatives.
Don't let them steal our democracy. Our voices matter, and together we can make a difference. The future of America is at stake, and it's up to us to defend it. We must stand united, regardless of our differences.
What are your thoughts on Project 2025 and its potential implications for American democracy? How do you think we can best address this threat? Share your comments below. We make it a point to read and respond to as many as possible. Your input is invaluable in this fight. Share your comments below. We make it a point to read and respond to as many as possible. Your input is invaluable in this fight. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on this critical issue. Together, we can stay informed, stay engaged, and protect our democracy.